Hey guys, it's Mo and it's Mornings with Mo, and we start off with Florida Man because don't we always start off with Florida Man? I mean, really, can you start a day off without Florida Man, really? It is Florida Man. It's not quite Killdozer, but we'll take it. A Florida man causes $2 million in damage with a hot wired, I love that it's in quotes, hot wired excavator and crashes into Walmart. And in other news, apparently Lauren Boebert, well, put on a better show than Beetlejuice. As this isn't a political channel, I chose to skip the Boebert news just because, really, I mean, ma'am, if you're gonna have weird, smexy date time, why are you going to see Beetlejuice? Look, the fact that you're wearing a bra after 7 p.m. and going out in high heels shows that you are more committed to dating than I would ever be, but that is let's stick with Florida Man. Move over Killdozer guy. Let's see what Florida Man can do. A machete-armed Florida man stole an excavator and went on a joyride through Gainesville on Monday night, crashing into several buildings, including a Walmart, causing roughly $2 million in damage. Jesse Smith sounds like a sufficiently Florida name. 47 was arrested early Tuesday morning after he allegedly stole a yellow, I'm going to guess, Kamasuto? Look, y'all don't come here for the names. Excavator, valued at $350,000, and drove it down several roads, knocking into buildings, fences, and light poles before finally coming to a rest after crashing into a side of the Walmart. You know his other Floridians are gonna be pissed off, that's the good Walmart. I'm cool with it. Clown World is already clowny enough without political clowniness. Although I did make fun of AOC, but still, when you claim your life partner is not your life partner to go ahead and skip that you have to actually claim his tax shares, I mean, it's all again, I don't even understand why we have an ethics part of Congress, but that's just me. I mean, I'm just trying to save the American people money. And this is Dot Pepsi. I have not changed my stance on cold caffeine in favor of hot caffeine. Smith entered the machine without permission on a construction site and hot wired. Well, here I thought he had permission to go on a joyride. How was I to know? Dear God. And drove it away. An arrest report viewed by the Post stated he allegedly broke through a chain link fence at the work site before he drove into buildings at a nearby storage unit center while extending the excavator's boom to inflict additional uh, damage. Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, as a Louis Blackian minarchist, I'm I'm somewhat homeless on all sides, so I figure I'll just make fun of everyone. Good morning, reindeer. 4 buildings belonging to the storage company were damaged or destroyed during Smith's escapade before he made his way to the nearby Walmart. And the automotive section? Sir, that is where we get our oils changed. Imma need you to ruin something else like the fireworks store that always stays year-round nowadays. Don't you remember when those things like, stopped? Now we have year-round fireworks stores, which I don't understand because, nothing says America like blowing off your fingers, I guess. I don't know. And he done ruined everyone's storage units. Swear to goodness, if you had your Meemaw's Best China in there, you are pissed the F off right now. En route to the retail store, Smith smashed through another fence and drove through a utility pole, causing it to fall down with live wires running over a CT meter causing underground damage and breaking down a light pole. When he arrived to the Walmart, Smith smashed the 7,000 or 72,000-pound machine against the loading dock wall, crashing into the side of the store, causing extensive exterior damage. At least he wasn't an old person thinking he was going in reverse, because I was actually in Aldi's when she felt so bad about it, but the woman was like Diane Feinstein age young. I mean, she had to be all of 873, and she thought she was going backwards. I don't even think she could have seen over the steering wheel, I'm gonna be so honest with, and she was so sweet, but I was like, "Ma'am, who let you drive?" We need to do better by our seniors, getting them, you know, giving them ride shares or something. Look, I I I know we have dishes that I'm still not allowed to touch, and I'm daggone near 40. To be fair, now that I'm daggone near 40, I just don't wanna wash them, and I'm like, "Can we just use the paper plates, mom?" Look, I I'm I because we can't even you can't put them through the dishwasher, and at this point, I'm like, "They're lovely and all, but I'll get a China Hutch one day for 5 seconds and put them out." Smith allegedly then fled the excavator, ran inside armed with a machete, but discarded it. Police said Smith physically resisted officers, initially refused to put his hands behind his back. No, I mean he looks very very peaceful. I mean he has a cross on his face. I think Bradley Yon and him are going to make excellent. I mean, he doesn't just have a, you know, a rosary necklace. He has one on his face. How could he go wrong? Seriously. Of course. The business listed as victims of Smith crime told law enforcement the estimated property damages could be as high as $2 million. Yeah, I bet he was just going to church. He hotwired the excavator because he was on his way to AA and taking his Mima to get her medication. Smith was charged with 6 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. What the hell was the misdemeanor? Like hot wiring the extending the boom arm? I'm confused. The most serious being first-degree larceny, grand theft, causing damage to property, estimating over $1,000. He also faces 4 criminal mischief, damage to property charges, all third-degree felonies, a felony armed trespassing charge, a misdemeanor for resisting arrest to an officer without violence. Without violence, Sir had a machete. I mean, I guess he did have a machete, so he dropped it. So the novice excavator operator has previously had several court appearances for other grand thefts in the first degree, according to Alachua County court records. Smith is being held in Alachua County as he awaits his trial after making his initial appearance in court on Tuesday. You know what? Put this man to work, have him working, teach him how to actually use the excavator, make him work construction and put it all back together. Well, he just needs job training. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? Just training these people? Diversion training? I think we're good. In sharing is caring, uh, and welcome to our pain, Europe. America gives you fire ants. Uh, Texas says, "Suck it, Europe." Red fire ants, one of the world's most invasive species, storms Europe. We knew this day would come. Texas says, "Get over it." Um, Listen, uh, I don't know how this had happened. I was not near Texas. I did not do this, but apparently, somehow, uh, red ants have gotten to Europe. So, welcome to the pain of having fire ants. But sharing is caring, as our youngest, most feral always says when he wants something, but not when he wants or when he has to share. So there are those moments. It's a militant takeover. Red fire ants have finally made a pilgrimage over to Europe and are threatening to take over the continent, according to a new study. The teeny ants, considered one of the world's most invasive species, have established at least 88 nests across 12 acres near the Syracuse city in Sicily. They did. They were like, we need to expand. They sent out, scouting committees. They talked to their CEO. They're like, we need to diversify. We need to scout out new we have market there are market opportunities in the global hemisphere. We must diversify. Um, eh, Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk, and perhaps I'm looking at this rather naively, but does RAID not exist in Sicily? I mean, I know they're the most invasive species, but I've seen people and look, it's mean, but it looks really cool, but they've poured, like, liquid metal or lead or whatever into these ant hills, and then it looks really cool because you get the metal that I mean, it would seem that with 88 hills, across 12 acres, something could be done instead of a study. I'm not, but let's see if something happened. The sightings mark the first time the bugs, known by their scientific name as, oh, for the love of goodness, Solenopsis invincia, have been cited in Europe, researchers announced in a study published Monday in the science journal Current Biology. S. invincia is one of the worst invasive species. It can spread alarmingly quickly. Again, it's called RAID. I don't. The lead author, Mattea Machetti of the look, foreign name from somewhere in Spain. The Institute of Evolutionary Biology in Spain said in a statement, finding the species in Italy was a big surprise, but we knew this day would come. The fire ants are native to South America but have spread across the globe thanks to maritime trade, industry, and shipping plant products. Yeah, I know. I mean, other than being annoying, the fire ants are known to cause major environmental, health, and economic uh, okay, problems is what you needed to add in there. Major environmental, health, and economic problems to the lands they settle in. They can destroy crops, infest electrical equipment, including cars and computers. Yikes. Somehow, Europe was able to stave off the pest until 2019 when locals were first stung by fire ants. There are vast number of alien ant species currently establishing in Europe. The absence of this species was kind of a relief, Machetti said. For decades, science had feared that they would arrive, but we couldn't believe our eyes. I know murder ants. I've decided to call them ouchie ants. Can we name them after Dr. Fauci? The Fauci ouchie ants? I'm just saying that he's a man of science. I feel like he would be appreciative of that? Probably not, no. Annoying things that are invasive? Never mind. Look, I he's a gremlin, and I'm not upset about the current issues, I'm upset about him and his AIDS response, so I'm upset at him for something that happened years ago, so he's a ding dong for me for years past. For decades, scientists have feared this day would arrive. Again, so you've done nothing to stop it? That's like saying, "Gosh darn, that iceberg is coming from the Titanic. Should we swerve, Alvin?" "Nope, we're just gonna watch it." "Are you sure we shouldn't swerve, Alvin?" Nope. We fear this day would come. We shouldn't swerve? Are you sure? I After analyzing wind patterns and even running DNA tests on the Sicilian ant queens, researchers determined the pests likely came from either the US or China. Although there are less than 100 known fire ant colonies in Italy, scientists warn that their populations can rapidly spread through the continent because of large nearby seaports. Y'all, I can we import uh no, oh Lord. If you send it to my email, I will do a story. Oh gosh, no. I did the story of the mom who left her son in a car because she wanted to go swim with sharks. We just all went crazy. I I know. We're importing anteaters to Europe because this is getting ridiculous. We're giving them possums to deal with the problem. To counteract the invasion, the researchers suggested that both government official and public decimate any ant nests they come across and motion the sites to ensure that there aren't any resurgences. Motion the sites. There needs to be an awareness of this problem. It's already in Europe, Manchetti said. We need coordinated action and we need it now. Well, the government is here to help. Europe, you're screwed. I hate to tell you this unless you citizens take it upon yourself to deal with these ants. Um, Godspeed. Invasive species like the fire ant and the loathed spotted lantern fly cost the world at least $423 billion every year, according to the United Nations backed reports released last week. More than 33,000 alien species are wreaking havoc on foreign lands after being introduced by human activities, threatening alien extinctions, food insecurities, and environmental disasters. Yes. Best quote ever, but still, you guys, no, for the love of all that is holy, just get you a can of Raid, or, if you're a smelter and you have the idea that, you have some liquid lead, I mean, look, just get some lead and make a cool little lead thingy. I see it on YouTube. I don't know, YouTube always shows me the weirdest things at 3 AM in the morning when Fry decides to be weird. And, no Kim Jong no show apparently. Uh, so we haven't seen him. No sign of Kim Jong Un has his Russia visit continues, and Seoul expresses concern over Putin meetings. So Kim Jong no show? Is it really a body double? Is he really alive? What do we know about the man who made his haircut illegal and made sarcasm also illegal? My ass would so be in jail. Or or his next wife. I mean, I don't know, maybe he likes mouthy redheads. Seoul, South Korea. So this is the truthiest news we will ever find. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un was to tour a Russian aircraft plant that builds fighter jets and then visit the country's Pacific Fleet, but his exact whereabouts remain uncertain. Yep, they did the old Russian, 1-2 punch. They were like, "Here, try some vodka. Here's some depleted uranium." What had happened was right after he shot, a perfect all hole in one, 18 hole game as is always told in the news that we get or they get. Yeah, this is the worst meet cute I've ever heard. Uh, his exact whereabouts remain uncertain as South Korea on Thursday expressed, quote, deep concern and regret, unquote, that his visit has focused so far on expanding military cooperation. I thought that was the only reason he went there. I mean, he wasn't going there to try local cuisine. Like, I have always had a hankering for borscht and vodka. Also, do you have any of those Russian dolls? I really enjoy those. And, Fabergé eggs. Also, have you ever seen that movie, Anastasia? I love that movie. It's a great cartoon. I mean, I what else would they be talking about? Washington has warned that the summit on Wednesday between Kim and Russian President Vladimir Putin could lead to a deal for North Korea to supply ammunition for Moscow's war in Ukraine. There is widespread concern in Seoul that North Korea, in return, would receive advanced weapons and technology from Russia, including those related to military spy satellites, which would increase the threat posed by Kim's nuclear program. Quote, we express our deep concern and regret that despite repeated warnings from the international community, North Korea and Russia discussed military cooperation issues, including satellite development, during their summit. Kim Soo-suk, South Korea's foreign ministry spokesperson, said, any science and technology cooperation that contributes to nuclear weapons, missile development, including satellite systems that involve ballistic missile technologies, runs against the UN Security Council resolutions, he said in a briefing. Okay, the UN is okay, these are my opinions, and I will preface that as everyone has a nose and a behind, and they both smell. These are simply my opinions and do not reflect anything other than mine. But the UN is a big nothing burger. They do nothing. What isn't North Korea on like the Human Rights Committee or Iran? Like these places that are terrible. China's on the Human Rights Committee. Give me give me a break. We spend a bajillion dollars on the UN, and the UN does nothing but goes in countries and does terrible things to children if the reports are to be believed. And the reports are fairly accurate and horrifying. So d I don't care if the UN is worried. The UN seems to be a paper tiger that does nothing but pontificate and yell at people. I cannot with I mean, it's not great thing, but if they happen to lose both leaders, you know, in Siberia, I mean, the world is no better loss, but what can you do? Let's see here. Lim also pointed out that Kim's delegation in Russia includes several people sanctioned by the Security Council over involvement in illicit North Korean weapons development. Oh, sanctioned by the UN. I'm sure they're very upset. I'm sure the bajillion and bajillions of shell companies they have are very upset. And, you know, people, including Korean's People Army Marshal look, a lot of their ruling people. Lim said Moscow should realize there will be, quote, very negative impacts on its relationship with Seoul if it proceeds with military cooperation with North Korea. I'm sure they're shaking in their boots. South Korean Unification Minister Kim Young Ho, who handles affairs with North Korea, warned that potential arms transfers between North and Russia could invite stronger responses from South Korea, the US, and Japan, which have been stepping up their trilateral security cooperation to cope with regional threats. Well, it's clown world. So let's hope that we haven't lost, Kim Jong Un. And if Matt Parker and Trey Stone would please reconsider you know, their thoughts on never having a new Team America movie, please? Can we have a new Team America movie? Chim Kim Jong Un needs his own puppet. If we could possibly have that happen, that would be awesome. I'm just saying. I would like a new Team America movie. That's really the only reason I put this in here. Also, we might have lost a world leader, which, I mean, on its surface is somewhat funny. In other news, uh, in rare future footage of what will happen when Jamie and I actually leave our house, drunken sisters throw a tantrum after being told they couldn't fly aboard Aer Lingus flight to Ireland. So, this is what happens when, Jamie and I have gotten sufficiently drunk to get out of our house, but then are told we can't fly because we're too drunk. Two drunken sisters were forcibly arrested at Newark Airport Saturday after throwing a tantrum when they were told they wouldn't be allowed to board their flight to Ireland. Witnesses videoed showed the distressed adult women sweep through a range of emotion before getting dragged out of the airport by cops, who they allegedly threatened during the chaotic scene. "Can anyone help us? Please, someone help us, please," the woman screams as she jumps up and down by the gate's attendants. The pair began acting erratically around 8 p.m. when they were told they wouldn't be permitted to board their flight to Dublin, according to TikTok, and that has racked up over 800 or no 680,000 views. The woman burst into tears at the realization, but Jamie and I would just be okay. We'd just go back to our houses, really. I mean, we'd be okay. We'd just be sad that we spent the money. We'd ask for a refund. And her brunette sister tried to comfort her by promising they could still make their trip to the Emerald Island or Isle. "I'm not gonna let you down. We're going to Dublin," her supportive sister said. Oh, it gets better. The blonde woman identifies herself as a lawyer. Wait, a drunk lawyer? Facts not in evidence. I call shenanigans. And initially, quote, warned the cops there would be consequences for not allowing them on their flights, but ultimately decided it would be best just to leave the airport. The sister, however, was not prepared to give up without a fight. She charged toward the gate attendants and demanded they be let on the flight right now. After realizing the crew was not going to relent, the woman turned to the crowd of airport travelers for help. Her embarrassed sister tried to put her hand over her unhinged sister's mouth to stop her from screaming after a police officer came over to calm this duo down, but neither of their efforts seemed to help. Both women were dragged away from the gate by officers. The brunette tried to resist the escort and fell to the ground. Officers seized the opportunity to put her in handcuffs. See, this is what happens when you try to take people out of their houses. We just Also, note to self, Jamie and I will not be drinking before we go visit Baker and Nicholas and everyone over in Europe. A spokesperson for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey confirmed that officers responded to a disturbance of two intoxicated women who were being denied a boarding pass on Aer Lingus plane. Officers made attempts to de-escalate the situation, but the women disregarded their instructions, the spokesperson told the Daily Dot. Oh, when your butt goes viral, it's gonna be a bad year. Like, did I see your ass in leggings go viral? Yes, Meredith, you did. You did. Well, that's amazing. And the blonde woman was arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, while her loudmouth sister was given a criminal summons for disorderly conduct. It's not clear whether they made it to Ireland. Let's hope that these drunkards made it to Ireland and then proceeded to get more drunk and live the dream. Because really, I want them to have lived their dream. I just thought it was funny because I can so see, well, all of us in chat doing this, not getting drunk to the point of needing, but possibly, just possibly. In odd news, but it sort of involves Indiana, and, well, people I don't know from the music awards, so let's talk about it. Peso Pluma threatened by Mexican cartel ahead of Tijuana concert. It will be your last show. A Mexican cartel has threatened recording artist Peso Pluma. Yeah, I have no idea who this is. I stopped watching the VMAs right about the time that Britney and Justin showed up in the Canadian tuxedo, fully denim outfits, the matching outfits, and she did the, snake dance. That's about the time I stopped watching the VMAs, so I am, you know, super de-duper caught up on all the young people stuff, as you know. Ahead of his debut at the MTV Video Music Awards, his October 14th concert at Caliente Stadium in Tijuana, Mexico, a banner threatening the 24-year-old Mexican singer whose real name is Hassan Emilio Cabante Lija was posted on a bridge in the border town of Tijuana on Tuesday. It was signed by Jalisco New Generation Cartel, reported the Arizona Republic, part of the USA Today network. Well, that is a lot of writing. You would think a threat would be short, but apparently they took an entire sheet and all of the spray paint. That is dedication. Well, I think the MTV awards really weren't what caused it, but I think this is he is getting ready to do a concert in Tijuana, and this was placed in on a bridge in a border town or the border town of Tijuana, so I think he was getting ready to do a concert in Tijuana, Mexico on the 14th. So this was, placed on there, but this is a long ass message. I mean, usually they didn't they used to just put horse heads in your, bed, or was that the Italian mafia and the cartels are different? Look, I never watched those cartel, like, dark web cartel violence. I don't look, I watched Saw once. I never even watched Hostel. The torture porn movies are just they are not for me. Just no. I cannot do it. I look, some people like them. I just ugh. So, and apparently this is what it says. This goes to Peso Pluma. Refrain from presenting yourself on October 14th because it will be your last show due to your disrespect and loose tongue. You show up and we are going to break you. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Flux. I also like that it's a very formal, threat. It says, "Refrain from presenting yourself." I like the formality of it. I mean, if it's not cursey and such. Pluma, who performed at the VMAs on Tuesday night, has not commented on the threats. Several of his upcoming shows have been postponed or canceled. There was a show that was supposed to be in Indiana, but it was canceled. I don't know how far this particular cartel has gotten into I don't know all the I know you're shocked. I am not up on the carteliness of America. Uh, though it is unclear whether it's because of the threats. Pesco Pluma's representative did not immediately respond to USA Today's response for comments Wednesday. Pluma's concert at the Siri Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which was set for Thursday, has been postponed due to unforeseen circumstances. The venue posted online and on social media Tuesday. Pluma's show and the Rosemont Theater in Rosemont, Illinois on Friday was also postponed, along with Saturday's show in Indianapolis. Pluma's official site lists his next show in Reno, Nevada on September 28th. The cartel threatened ban in February. Grupo Arrestado, a narco-corrado band from the state of Sinaloa that sings about drug culture, was was at a Tijuana mall signing autographs in February when men fired shots and forced the musicians to leave the city, reported a Louisville Carrier Journal in USA Today Network. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the main rival of the Sinaloa cartel, left a written message behind, giving the band a few hours to get out of Tijuana or face death. Grupo Arrizado, which translates to risky group. Good morning, Jungmin. Shelly, how are you doing? I had no idea that this was even a thing, but I am learning all the new things. Canceled its Tijuana concert and later scrapped its upcoming tour dates in the US. Pesco Pluma's music. The narcocorrido genre, often accused of glorifying drug cartels, has been exploding in popularity, reaching global pop charts and filling arenas. Plumo, who is from Zazapan, Jalisco, is one of the leaders of the new eras of corridos, which is native Mexican narrative songs or ballads that recount heroic struggles. Well, there you go. You can definitely you can go and tell me what the hell this music is about, because I have I have no idea. I mean, maybe it's good. He's going through all of the charts, so he obviously has to be at least somewhat good. Plum Pluma, along with other artists, have been showing up on the Billboard, Spotify, and Apple Music charts with a new subgenre called corridos tumbados, which translates to knocked or lying down, and the already established warlike. Uh, Peso Pluma on Mexican music going global. The music video for his 2022 Oh, for the love of Raul Vega, El Belican. Pluma carries what appears to be a machine gun and sings lyrics like, I'm the one in charge here, sports cars in my collection, mini-me's, bazookas, Kalashnikovs, all my boys are ready, they like action. Well, yeah, I don't think I might like his musics. Sir, you was all of 108 pounds. What you need to be ready for is to go to the gym and pump some weight. The Corrados have always been very attacked and very demonized, Peso Pluma told the Associated Press after performing at Coachella in April. At the end of the day, it's music. You see it in rap, you see it in hip hop, you see it in reggaeton. On Tuesday night before the VMAs, Pluma told the AP, "It feels great hearing all these people from different countries listening and singing my songs. It's just a dream. I'm grateful for the genre that I do. It's going global. It's breaking down barriers." He continued, "I'm just thankful for all the people that are supporting Mexican music." Um, well, does he have a mullet? I'm trying to see that. Yeah, that back there is hair. That is full on Miami Vice. Business in the front, party in the back, razor blade through the eyebrow. We cannot see if he does not have socks on, but that is a Don Johnson suit from the 1980s. What in the Miami Vice? I y'all y'all, I have no words. In gross news of the century that I don't I hate to say it, but freaking Whoopi Goldberg saved the day, and I don't even I I I can't even. Oh, well, that's good. I but, in gross news of the world, Whoopi Goldberg saves the view after Matthew McConaughey and Joy Behar's awkward exchange. Let me explain to you what had happened. Joy Behar put her disgusting feetsicles on the table. Now, this is a clip from 2006, which means that it should have, of course, canceled The View in 2006, and then we wouldn't even have to deal with this dumpster fire today, where he was giving Joy a foot massage. Both these people should be canceled for this. Gross. Just wrong. But here, let's explain how apparently Whoopi Goldberg saved the day. The View audience experienced some truly interesting moments while watching Matthew McConaughey promote his new children's book, Just Because. The actor appeared on September 12th taping of the show to discuss his project with Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and the rest of the cackling hens on The View. Look, could we have at least gotten like fun ladies? No, we got a bunch of cackling hens who are insufferable, which is upsetting. The conversation went fine enough until they played a 2006 clip that shows Matthew giving Joy a foot massage, which should have canceled everyone. After showing it, Joy put her foot on the table, and to everyone's surprise, Matthew obliged in rubbing her foot again. Double canceled. They should have burned the foot and Matthew's hand after that. After a minute or so, Whoopi put an end to it by turning on a water hose, as you do with dogs in the street. No, I'm just kidding. We're just here we're just gonna let all of that go by, Whoopi said, which prompted Joy to say, "Thank you," and move on. No, no, that is where you get the fire extinguisher out and you spray both of them with the fire extinguisher. However, the discussion turned to much more serious things after the actor shared why he started a new initiative. Look, then they start talking about things, but still, I just put it on here because we need to stop this thing about feet. We need to no feet on national television, none whatsoever. Stop it. Just stop. Joy Behar, I allow you on. Yeah, really. It's just uh let's see if this won't have sound, but let me see if we can all see my facial reaction as feet become an issue. Let's see if I can just squeeze over to the foot thing because I can't. Uh, stop, stop fluffing. Please don't show feet. Ew. Oh, here we go. Oh, so disgusting. Ugh, you're not even married. Ew. Ew. God, no. Why? Okay. Well, I'm horrified. They're not even married. I'm deeply uncomfortable. Oh no. Oh God, no. She's gonna do it again. Get. Oh God, no. No, and why is this hair greasy? Oh, I just okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Where is the FCC? I'm calling this in. This should not be allowed on cable television. Who I'm calling my congressperson to clear that out of our heads. 'Cause I need to see Joy Behar aroused, like, no one needs to see seriously, this'll help on my diet, Joy Behar aroused. Ugh. A New Zealand man becomes the world's oldest motorcycle racer. Also, my youngest, most feral, will become the world's oldest motorcycle racer because this is the age 97 is the age I told him he could get a motorcycle, because I will have been dead for 3 years. A New Zealand man who participated in a motorcycle race just 3 weeks before his 97th birth or 98th birthday was named the world's oldest competitive motorcycle racer in the Guinness Book of World Records. The record-keeping organization said Leslie Harris, 98, competed earlier in the Kyokai 43rd Classic Motorcycle Festival in Auckland. Harris joined the race with his oldest son, Rod, for 64, and his granddaughter, Olivia, aw, 21. The trio rode in the regularity race, which is called on the competition or the competitors to perform the most consistent lap times. Aw, so cute. Look there. He's so old. Good morning. Yeah, we need a palate cleanser after Joy Behar feat. It just but that's so sweet. They're all doing it as a family. But I mainly picked this story because, honest to goodness, I had just told my youngest, most feral, because he asked for a motorbike or a dirt bike, that he had to be at least 37 or 97 before he got one, because, look, I can't. The boy nearly kills himself just driving just walking. He's he's a ball of chaos. We need to add no dirt bikery to any of this. So I just thought it was cute that this man is now 97 still doing this with all of his family, and this is the age when Griffin will have my blessing to get a bike. Because honestly, right now my nerves can't take it, and apparently someone in his class got a bike, got a dirt bike, and I was like, "Well, that's their family." And in, sports ball news, apparently Alex Rodriguez is a big old niche, I guess. I have been reliably told that he does something with sports ball, apparently, the baseball, and he apparently used to date, Jennifer Lopez, I think, possibly. Look, I don't know. Alex Rodriguez, good morning, Jonathan, ratted out PED, performance enhancing drug users, lied to the Yankees, a new bombshell documents show. So apparently he's not the most welcome at the, Yankees ball house. So apparently it was baseball that he was sports ball for. I am having more of those days. I may or may not have energy drinks, all the caffeine. Alex Rodriguez ratted out his fellow cheating stars. The former Yankees third baseman revealed to federal agents in 2014 that he had been told by Biogenesis founder Anthony Bosch that Manny Ramirez, Ryan Braun, and one other all-star player were also using uh, performance enhancing drug were also performance enhancing drug clients, according to documents obtained by ESPN. Um, did he think these documents were going to come out? The third All-Star has never tested positive for PEDs and was not named in the story. Rodriguez gave the agents those names when he met with the two assistant U.S. Department of Justice attorneys and 7 Drug Enforcement Administration agents on January 29th, 2014. This meeting came several weeks after he received his 211-game suspension for violating the MLB's performance-enhancing drug policy, which earned him a ban for the entire 2014 season. The third baseman had been granted queen for a day status. Look, if a prosecutor grants you queen for a day status, you is about to get screwed over for something. They are going to leak that you are a snitch years later. Sir, you was being screwed by prosecutor per the report, which allowed him to share details without fear of legal prosecution. Yeah. Rodriguez admitted for the first time in the meeting that he used performance enhancing drugs, which he purchased from Bosch per the report, which he denied publicly. Yeah. Um, you don't go from being somewhat scrawny to jacked in 6 months. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but, that Zac Efron and all your Hollywood stars who go from, drama geek to I don't know what Fry is hunting in his dreams, but apparently it is talking smack, and he don't play that. It yeah, it's ridiculous. It but all your Hollywood stars, I mean, like The Rock, I'm sorry, but they're using enhancerments, okay? It's not just like who is it, the liver guy or what have you, had to come out and say, "Yeah, I used testosterone." I mean, come on, if it looks too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. I'm not saying that these guys don't put an enormous amount of effort into being physically fit, but they obviously have. Wait a minute. He said he paid roughly $12,000 a month to Bosch for doping protocols fueled by testosterone cream, red gummy-like lozenges containing testosterone and human growth hormone. Pay me $12,000 a month. I'll figure something out. From 2010 to 2012, per the report, the three-time all-time or AL MVP paid Bosch in cash and sometimes used petty cash obtained from the Yankees traveling team secretary, who was not involved in the scheme. Rodriguez also told the agents his cousin, Yuri Sarkrat Sr., had supplied him with performance enhancing drugs for at least a decade. Oh, those people must be so mad that he ratted him out. Surratt, who did not comment when contacted by ESPN, eventually threatened to blackmail Rodriguez if he didn't receive $5 million per the report. Before the blackmail threat, he acted as a middleman, funneling cash to Bosch. Rodriguez wrote checks from his business account for Surkart, and then he paid cash to Bosch. Surkart, who had once been trusted as Rodriguez's well-compensated assistant, serving as Rodriguez's personal handler since he entered the majors at 18 in 2000, or no, 1994 per ESPN. He approached Bosch on Rodriguez's behalf in 2009 and asked him about human growth hormone before eventually requesting a few of his gummy samples. Cigar and other individual then helped set up a meeting between Bosch and Rodriguez in 2010, according to the report. While Rodriguez and Cigar had once been close, their relationship eventually deteriorated. Rodriguez told the agents he fired his cousin after frivolously spending approximately a quarter million to half a million of his money without Rodriguez's consent, per the report. Well, it happens. It's a little here, a little there. You go to Walmart, you pick up a couple extra bags of chips, or, a couple months ago, 2 dozen eggs. The Miami Herald reports that their business relationship ended in 2012. Sucart threatened Rodriguez with blackmail on December 24th, 2012 for the aforementioned 5 million or he would inform the Major League Baseball league of Rodriguez's illegal activities, according to ESPN. Rodriguez claimed that they reached a confidential financial arrangement. Aha, to not divulge details, while Sucart's camp said Rodriguez had previously requested the side agree to a confidential detail, but the financial terms could not be agreed upon. The Miami Herald reported that Rodriguez called it an extortion letter to DEA agents and said they settled for 900,000. As a final kicker, Rodriguez told the agents sensitive information about Sicart and that, quote, had the effect of bringing other people into the federal investigative record, which included the identification of the married Sucart's girlfriend. Oh, he done outed his cousin as being a cheater. What a well, they're both douches. Never mind, they're both jerks. The report also included details that Rodriguez admitted to federal agents that he lied to the Yankees president's President Randy Levine in 2012 when he told him he did not have a relationship with Bosch. Levine reportedly called Rodriguez in November of 2012 asking if he knew anything about Bosch before biogenesis scandal took off. Rodriguez declined to comment for the story to ESPN, which is one of his current employers. Well, that's going to be messy. Or maybe not. I mean, ESPN is owned by Disney, and Disney is in a whole world of hurt, so they might just launch ESPN into the sun at this point. The 14-time All-Star joined the worldwide leader in 2018 at a no and now co-hosts the K-Rod Cast, the alternative feed of ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball game. Well, hopefully they don't have a call-in center because that might get ugly. And in our final story that might help us have at least a better day, hopefully, and in a positive note coming out of Germany, and, you know, some good things come out of Germany too. On a positive note coming out of Germany, a Berlin bus gets lifted with the help of 40 people to free a young man pinned by a rear wheel. In Berlin, so a young man trapped under a bus in Berlin survived with minor injuries after 40 people joined forces to lift the vehicle off of him in what police described as a heroic rescue effort. The 18-year-old got pinned by a tire of the rear axle when he fell down while running to catch the bus as it pulled away from a stop on Monday afternoon, authorities said. The bus driver immediately stopped and, with the help of about 40 people, including the passengers and passersby, managed to lift the right side of the bus high enough to extricate the man, according to the police. There was chaos. Frank Kirks, one of the volunteer rescuers, told German news channel NTV, "I saw men trying to lift the bus, and it was clear to me I also had to help lift the bus and try to pull the young man from underneath." Surgeons and nurses from the medical center close to the bus stop in, I'm going to guess, Spandau neighborhood of Berlin went to the scene to provide first aid. Quote, "We were at work when we heard screams, and our boss looked out of the window and saw what had happened and said, 'Take a doctor's case and run,'" Michelle Reckieborn, one of the responding nurses, said. The man suffered scrapes and bruises and an arm injury, the police said. He was responsive but very perplexed and didn't know what was happening, Sandra Grunwald, another nurse, said. The injured man was taken to a hospital where he underwent surgery. NTV reported he had been released, but Berlin police said they did not have any further information on his condition. Berlin police were investigating how he ended up under the bus. They said they were impressed by the collective rescue action and praised people who pitched in as heroes. "Thank you, Spanu. Thank you, Berlin," police department wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. That is going to get so annoying. Just turn it back to Twitter or just say X and stop saying formerly known as Twitter. I think we've had enough weeks that we just need to stop leaving people who can't figure things out behind. If you don't know, Twitter is now X. Just we're done now. Grunwald, one of the nurses, told NTV that the shared concern of so many people gave her a good feeling. "I think it's nice that we can still more or less have trust in society," she said. So, at the end of it, despite the gross feet stuff and Kim Jong Un possibly being gone and fire ants invading and, the Mexican cartels threatening, singers who are apparently singing about loving Mexican cartels, ironically. In Berlin, we have a bunch of people helping get a guy from under a bus. So at the end, people are still relatively good, and good things can happen all over the place. So we might have fire ants, but we also have 40 people and nurses that will run to help a guy who got stuck under a bus. So that is a good thing to remember on a Thursday evening. And we I will be stopping this, and I will be waiting for the Gareth Pursehouse, uh, footage from yesterday to load. It did come about noon, yesterday. I'll be working on a couple other different stories. I will possibly be doing a later Newsy News stream tonight. I do have a date night with Mr. Mo tonight, so It might be later. I will try to let you guys know if I'm going to have it at all or if it will be later. So I will try to tweet that out on X or X that out. I don't know. But it has been super fun. I enjoy bringing you guys these stories and finding these stories and kind of, you know, figuring out where I'm going to put them and all the things. So I enjoy having this time with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it too. I will see you guys later with the Gareth case and have a great rest of your Thursday. I am going to go take Fry out for a walk or an attempted walk. You know, it is what it is, and laundry. My life is laundry. Laundry is my life. I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys.